Hi there. Today we're making a custom B5 soft pastel sketchbook using PastelMat paper. Then we'll swatch out the full set of the Caran pastel pencils, my favourites, to see how they perform on this paper. Let's get started. So if you want to make your own DIY sketchbook the way that I am, you're going to need PastelMat sheets cut to size, a ruler and a pencil for measuring, a B5 9-ring binder, although you could use any size that you wanted. You could have an A4 one, an A5, whatever size you like. It's just I really like the B5 size because it's not too big like A4 is, even though it's literally only like a centimetre around the edges smaller, but it's not as small as B5 so it's a nice compromise for me. A hole puncher compatible with whatever ring size you decide to use, and of course our Caran pastel pencils for swatching later. Okay, so first we need to cut our PastelMat sheets to B5 size. If your PastelMat is larger sheets, measure and mark the correct size, then carefully trim using a craft knife or paper cutter for clean edges. Once all the sheets are cut, stack them neatly to ensure that they fit well into the binder. Now we need to punch holes so they fit perfectly into our binder. If your hole puncher has a guide, align the first sheet carefully. Test on a scrap piece to make sure the holes are even. Because I'm using PastelMat folded over, it makes it too thick to go into the hole punch, so I'm going to have to use an individual hole punch. Once you're happy with the placement, punch the rest of the sheets. Take your time. PastelMat is thick, so only punch a few sheets at a time to avoid jamming your hole puncher. Now comes the fun part, assembling our sketchbook. Simply open the binder rings and insert the PastelMat sheets. And because we're doing it this way, it also means we can insert a layer of tracing paper or glassine to protect our drawings. Whereas in a normal sketchbook, you would have to glue them in or sellotape them in, which is okay, but it can get a bit cumbersome. So it's nice to be able to have this. And to be honest, this is the main driving force behind doing the sketchbook this way. And there we have it, a fully customizable pastel sketchbook. You can add or remove pages anytime or mix them up, making it perfect for soft pastel projects. Now that we have our sketchbook ready, let's swatch the beautiful set of Caran pastel pencils to see how they perform on this paper. I'll be swatching each colour with a light pressure stroke and then blend the section to see how they layer and blend on the PastelMat. Caran pastel pencils are known for their rich pigment, as you can see, and the beautiful soft texture. They glide beautifully on the pastel mat. It is a perfect pairing, allowing for smooth blending and vibrant colour payoff. The completed swatch chart. The colours are stunning and the coverage is excellent. Now I can easily reference these for future artworks. And that's it. We've created a custom B5 pastel sketchbook and swatched the entire Caran pastel set. This setup is perfect for soft pastel studies, sketches, and maybe even finished pieces. Here's a tip for you. If for whatever reason you can't get the colour pastel mat that you want, or you just simply want something that they don't do at all, is you can use any sheet of pastel mat and then paint a thin layer of paint or ink. I typically like to use artist gouache, not acrylic gouache, because acrylic gouache may leave like a film on the top, like a little plastic film, nothing too thick, but some of the pastels might have trouble sticking to that. So that's why I say use artist gouache rather than acrylic gouache. Here you can see me just testing out a couple of strips of using white and black gouache, because the black pastel mat is not actually super black, it's like a chalky black. So if you want a super black, like a void, it's best to paint over it. So here I'm just showing you a couple of bits that I was doing on the leftover strips, and then showing you that the pastels just work perfectly over the top, because the paint or ink that you use to change the colour of the pastel mat doesn't actually affect the texture of the surface. It just fills in like one layer. So then you can continue working pastel on the top till your heart's content. So, you know, if you can only get one colour pastel mat, don't worry about it. You can just change the colour, which I think is fantastic. So another great use for pastel mat as well. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below. Have you tried making your own pastel sketchbook? Let me know what materials you love using. Thanks so much for watching and happy creating. Bye for now.